Hello. Yes, I'm making another video in bed, but I don't care because I am too lazy to go into the other room and make a video. But I thought I'd kind of switch it up a little bit and try to talk about something a little less depressing. Maybe it'll help me get my mind off of everything that's going on too. I just want to point it out that I am struggling a lot still, and I'm trying to come up with a plan to get myself back on the right track. But for now, my main priority is to stay sober. My 4-year sobriety date is coming up in less than 2 weeks, so I can't mess that up. I wanted to talk about the first time that I tried Xanax. So growing up, there were signs where you could say that I had an addictive personality at a young age. I was addicted to chapstick. I could not go anywhere without it. I even slept with it in my hand at night. I would put it on in the middle of the night, and if I did not have it, I would throw a fit, and everyone's day would be ruined if I didn't have my chapstick. So that was like an early sign of addiction for me. There were also some other things, like, I guess I don't really know if this is like a sign of addiction, but another weird thing is that I was super picky about the clothes that I wore. So there was like only a few outfits that I would wear. So most days I wore the same thing. Looking back, like, I'm super embarrassed about that, but it is what it is. That's who I was. And another funny fact is that I couldn't wear normal socks because of that the little seam at the end where your toes are. Like, that bothered me so much. So I'd either have to cut a hole so like my toe could come out of the sock, or I'd wear toe socks. I don't know if any of you guys know what toe socks are. It's basically a glove for your foot. They're really weird, and I would never wear them again. They seem so uncomfortable. But anyways, that's kind of a little bit of a background of where I thought my addiction started to show at a young age. The first time I tried Xanax it wasn't even planned out. I wasn't seeking it. I wasn't trying to try it for the first time. A friend of mine had asked me if I could go give her friend a ride to the cities. I was like, sure, because back in the day I drove everyone around. Not many of my friends had cars, so I was the one that always drove everyone around. So I was like, sure, if you just give me gas money, I'll drive you to the cities or whatever. Not knowing that they were going to be picking up Xanax. So we go to the cities. We get back to my friend's house. We drop her friend off, and I turn around and look in the back seat of my car, and there's this white bar, and I'm like, what is that? And my friend was like, oh, that's a Xanax. I was like, I want to try it. So we split it in half. I think it was a 2 milligram bar. I just remember that I loved the feeling that it gave me. I had no anxiety. I felt like I could talk, and I felt like I could be myself for once. Because I'm a very shy person, it's hard for me to have conversations with people sometimes. I had anxiety throughout high school, and this was in 2014 that I had tried Xanax for the first time. So right after I graduated, I had tried it, and I was like, oh my gosh. After taking it, like instantly the next day, I hit up my friend and I was like, can we go meet up with your friend and go get more of those? Took forever to figure out where to get it from, and we finally got them. I think I bought like 10 of them. Whenever I bought a certain amount, that's how many I would be taking. So if I bought 5, I would take all 5. If I bought 10, I would take 10. It put me into some really bad situations. Ultimately, my friends kind of gave me an ultimatum, like, if you don't stop taking Xanax, we're not gonna hang out with you anymore. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to lose my friends, so I have to get help. But back to taking the Xanax, the favorite part of taking Xanax for me was how I would forget everything, and the next day I'd wake up and have to put the pieces together, like, oh, so this is what happened, and this is how I ended up here. Or I don't know why, but I loved that. I loved not knowing what happened and then waking up and trying to figure out what happened, which is the weirdest thing looking back on it now. It's like, that sounds terrible. I want to remember what I'm doing. It just sounds crazy to think that I thought that was fun. But anyways, so, my paychecks all went towards Xanax. They were so expensive back then. I would spend all my money on 10 pills, and I'd take them all in one night, and then not be able to do them for a week or so until I could get more money from my parents, or like beg my parents for money. And they didn't know that any of this was going on. Yeah, so that's kind of my first experience with Xanax. I want to do a video about why I decided to go to treatment for the first time, and just kind of a little bit of a story of how I got myself into treatment. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to talk about in a video, and I will do my best to come up with something. Just thought I'd take a little bit of a break about talking about Lucas, because it has been really hard talking about it every day. In the end, it does help, but I feel like I kind of needed to switch things up a little bit. So I hope people find this interesting, or maybe can relate to how they may have started using drugs. Yeah, so that was the beginning of my journey. Well, the Xanax journey. There's obviously a lot more that led up to this point in my life. That can be for a different video. But thank you for watching. I'm gonna go to bed now.